Fellas, you are bad at playing your main. And in today's video, I will be continuing to explore how to get better in Marvel Rivals to help you fix that. Although this can be applicable to any game, and this time I will cover for both console and PC. Last time I focused on accuracy, which undoubtedly is important, but this time I'm looking at proficiency and utilizing a hero as best as possible, with a focus on Magneto as they're who I mainly play in ranked. How important is this in terms of getting better? I think it stands on equal grounds with accuracy, but it's the second step in that line rather than what you should focus on first. Making all the right choices but missing all the time doesn't do anything productive. Oddly, I also found that once I started focusing on these tweaks, the hyper-focused concentration faded away, and I started to notice things to slow down more, allowing for more thought on my actions, instead of being just sole focused on one target. This really helped with seeing more of what's happening in my surroundings, allowing for better play. So how do you work on getting better with your hero? A simple but slow way would be just play the game. This will take you a decent way forward, but you really need to be focusing on yourself to see all the small things you should be doing. And in fights, this can be near impossible to do when hyper-focused in. Thus, watching guides can help with properly understanding abilities and damage output. Plus, sometimes they include playstyles and combos that actually work, but sometimes they are wrong with their information. And you can't just generalize. All Vanguard, for example, don't play the same. Captain America really shines as a disruption to the backlines, but can be weak. Hulk is good for control and being really strong. Penny really shines on defense, but not so much on offense. Strange, you should be melee weaving all the time. These are different methods and playstyles that without looking more into it, you may miss, which can hinder you dearly. What I think is going to be one of the best things to do is to watch your previous matches from the history. To do that, you go to the top right, and then the third option here is history. This will show you all of your recent previous matches, including quick play, competitive, and practice versus AI. And so from here, you can choose a match, click on it, and then you can hit the play button in the bottom right, or select the replay ID in case you want to share with friends or online. But as you watch your gameplay, keep some things in mind. What did you miss? What should you have done in certain situations? Is your positioning bad? This is proof of how you play, and you'll have tools to really deep dive into it. You may have teammates that are just bad or who made a bad play. These things happen in all ranks and in casual matches. The difference will be how often it happens. I was watching a top 500 match where the Punisher made a bad play by ulting and not staying with the Luna, which led to him dying, ruining his ult. This small change would have really changed the match, but it ended in their loss because of this. And that was a top 500 match, and odds are you're not a top 500 player, so there is something that you can learn from it. If your teammates are playing poorly or run away from battles, for example, you need to be flexible and work with that. They should do things differently, but it's up to you to deal with it. Otherwise, and I know from experience, it will lead to a lot of 1v3s or 1v4s, and those odds are not ones that you can win. You may be saying, I'm not a top 500 player, or I'm not the best with this character, why are you showing me this? That's an excellent question. It's because they play better than you. So learn from a pro of your main, click on this button in the top right corner again, and go into leaderboards. If you do have a particular user ID, which you can find online normally, you can search it up here. Otherwise, you can filter between the two seasons and then find someone who plays well. In this case, the person I looked at was Zamarackenroids. We're gonna call him Zamor for this. You just click on view career. Here you can see their seasonal highest. And then you just go to the history to see some recent matches by them. Starting off, this isn't a good example, but it's with the new game mode and quick matches. Here we can see their competitive streak of, well, honestly, just a fantastic competitive streak, where they do have some insane games, 15-0, 31-7, 36-6. So you can watch these videos to see how someone who plays the character well is playing the character. And this will really highlight how you should be attacking, positioning, when and where to use abilities, and more. Zamor was the person that I focused on as they are great with Magneto. Before with Magneto, I played the front line and focused on Vanguards, which isn't a bad way to play, and I did rank up, but it can be done better. I still focused mainly on the front lines with Magneto, but now I'm pushing past and not solely focusing on the tanks, and more so on the support and DPS, which really changed up how the games turned out. Creating separation between the two allows for more kills on the supports, and makes it easier to get eliminations on the tanks. It's a different type of aggressive playstyle than before, but allows for more disruption. Playing this way also allowed me to focus more on shielding my DPS, who was fighting the backline to help secure those kills. This particular game I ended up getting 44 kills, a ton of damage, and absorb damage, and the other team didn't really stand a chance. It was the same thing for the next few games afterwards as well. That is a mix of playing the character much better and working with my team. And there are some things I was already doing, like meleeing through shields, and this may be similar for you. But there's more that I started doing more effectively, shielding DPS when they're in the middle of combat, over-saving the shield for myself, shielding support during ultimates to keep them alive, allowing for more healing, or when they're close to death. Chasing a stray for a moment to get a kill rather than leaving early and letting them live. Choosing when to do his ult and who to focus on was also a big one. Magneto has an awkward ultimate. It's easy to miss and hard to get kills with, but focusing on support makes all the difference, even if that means only creating space for a few seconds. Now, if you've watched this far and thought, this doesn't apply to me, I can assure you it does, and a lot more than you think. This doesn't necessarily mean you're bad, just that you could play better. So why is this improvement idea a great way to improve a second to accuracy? You do need to land better shots, and I have a video on how to do so. This can be done from practice or while you watch replays. See what's causing you to miss. Overcorrecting, turn down sensitivity. Can't keep up? Turn up the sensitivity. Do some eye training as well. But if you're playing the best you ever have and make all the right plays, it doesn't do much of anything if you miss your shots and can't contribute to the team. So if you only do one thing, that will be work on accuracy. I'd rather you land shots and contribute over being in all the right spots but whiffing and taking resources. Then ideally, you will work to improve the proficiency with the hero of your choice, making small tweaks of when to do things, where to do things, working with your team, and playing the hero the best that you can. This will help you dominate your matches. And of course, depending on skill, only some things may apply, like the Punisher play I mentioned earlier. But top 500 is top 500, and with millions of players, not everyone is going to be in the top 500 or even really good with a hero, so there should be plenty to grasp. And that's a wrap on this Marvel Rivals improvement video. Tell me, did I miss anything, or do you have any tips of your own that you think other people should know? Leave it in the comments below. And hey, hit the like button if you're still watching, subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the next one.